everybody, and welcome to the first ever podcast, the National Sports Podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the National Sports Podcast.
Crazy. They're not good right now. They're not good. School sports, school baseball. Last year was probably your first year you could.
Yeah, but I didn't.
Their outfield needs a little shaping and all that. They need to.
Right now, the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So,
do you want to coming up this year?
Oh, yeah.
Ever since I started AAU, when I was 9 years old, I was 8. My first home run ball. It's in like this container here.
Yeah, he got ejected 91 times. I don't know why they didn't suspend him, but ejections weren't enough for him. We could be talking to a future perfect athlete on TV one day. Who knows?
And welcome to the show.
Welcome.
All right, hello everyone, welcome back to the National Sports Podcast. You might know a familiar face here today. So joining us again is Tommy. He started up Elite Juniors Hockey for the Springfield Picks. He's playing center, number 26, is that right?
Yep.
All right, so welcome back, Tommy. It's been a while since you've been on the show. So first off, what you been up to?
Yeah, it's been too long.
Yeah, what have you been up to in the meantime of when you haven't been on?
So since the last time I was on, I went to high school, played there for a short time, and then also decided to go back up to Worcester and finish out the season there after leaving high school.
Well, that's good. So how was the high school for you going in and playing for your school?
Well, the big problem I faced is going in as a sophomore. The big thing I heard a lot was that, you got to wait your time. Because our school, we had 11 seniors that year that were all graduating. And so I didn't really even get much of a chance to play even from the start. So really wasn't playing a lot. I mean, I was on varsity, but still not getting great ice time. And wanted a chance to try to possibly, play somewhere that was a bit better. Because in Connecticut, the high school hockey isn't necessarily great.
So you were able to get the opportunity, came back to Worcester, you probably get more playing time there, but obviously not the same competition you get in high school. How did the opportunity come about to play for the Picks?
I was given an offer to try out for their U16 team, even though I had been playing U18 the previous season. And during the U16 tryouts, the owner of the Picks wanted me to try out for the juniors tryouts, and sure enough, I was able to make their elite team, which is the second level junior team.
So what has been how was your season going so far? This is obviously, if those of you who don't know, this is one of the more elite programs in the state of Massachusetts. Being able to play for this team, it's definitely a huge honor for you. How has it been, the differences, and tell us about the season thus far?
So far, as a team, we've struggled a lot. We're a lot younger of a team. Like, the average age on our team is probably 17 or 18, where we're going against teams where you have guys that are 20, 21 playing college next year.
Yeah, that's definitely probably a huge challenge, going against those. And this is a totally different league, than your youth or even your high school league. This is it. This is getting to those top levels of hockey. So, so you said you got the tryouts. That was great. What's been some of the biggest differences for you coming into this as a young player, playing against some of these huge guys, these more experienced players? How's it been for you, and what's some of those differences that you've noticed thus far?
Definitely the speed of the game. A lot of guys know, where to move the puck and what they're doing out there. And I mean, I'm going against guys that have been playing at this level now for 3-4 years. And so now, like, starting off, where like last year I wasn't on any of the teams I played on weren't great. So it's definitely a big leap up just from the overall skill of the players. And then also the previous years, I was always one of the bigger guys on the ice, where now I'm like average height guy out there.
Yeah, that's like going from maybe a senior in high school to a freshman in college, like you're like the top guy, and then you turn out just being another average player. But how have you adapted to the new surroundings?
I think it took a little bit of time. the good thing with being somewhat taller and like close in height to them is that physical aspect of the game, I was able to stay with it pretty good. Because you definitely have a lot of guys in here. You know, what you're not looking, they're gonna always finish their hit, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
Um,
this
the
continue.
overall
Sorry.
moving the puck around, I feel like, is a lot different. Just the overall, like the way they play the game. I mean, like I said earlier, you have guys that have been playing at this level for so long, and even the past couple of years, I was never on very high level teams. So now it's like a big step up, and I got to make a lot of adjustments kind of as I go. So it's not as smooth of a transition.
Yeah, obviously. So the physical aspect, you brought that up. How much more, obviously this isn't like, can't finish your hits anymore. That's a penalty. This is like, you're going to follow through on your hits. How has the physical aspect of the game been? Obviously, it's like I'm trying to emphasize how big of a difference this is. And this is way better play. So how's the physicalness been? I think, don't they allow you guys to like fight in this league too? Aren't you allowed to do that?
That's kind of past couple of years gone away. Most guys, if you fight, you're suspended for about a game or so. It really depends how bad it was. So far, I've been in, I think, one fight, and it was in an exhibition game, so I didn't get suspended or anything. But you don't see as much fighting, but after a big hit or if a guy's, caught up in the corner, you're definitely going to see, a small scrum breakout.
What is the coach's thoughts on fighting? How do they like it? Do they like it more of like, okay, so you're defending your teammates, that's fine, or they say, we want you in the game, we need you in the game?
Most of the time, they want you to defend your teammate. In a lot of cases, let's say they get jumped and they're in a vulnerable spot, they want someone to go in and make sure they don't get hurt, even though they know you might get suspended one of the games. But they definitely discourage it. Where a few years ago, you would have had, your enforcers on a team where now you don't see it anymore. You just see your guys that are more physical.
Yeah. So obviously, so it's like they need you on the team, but they're not going to say, look, you're going to defend your teammate. I'm not going to say you can't defend your teammate, but I'm not really encouraging you to do that. So, so the physical, obviously, and let's talk about how's the locker room? What's the environment in the locker room? Are the boys like loving it in there? Are you guys having a blast, or like what's it in there? What's the environment in the locker room?
So far, at least for this season, our record isn't great, so that doesn't always help. Right now, we only have one assistant captain since our head captain decided to quit at the beginning of the year and just decided to take some time off. And then another one of our assistant captains went off to play high school, and the guy we have now just isn't great. Like, he's a nice guy, I just think like the leadership isn't there as much.
So it's a tough. How much leadership going on, and that's always tough to build chemistry in the locker room when you don't have a guy standing there leading. So chemistry is tough. Tough season. It is what it is. I mean, this is your first year doing it. So how is it balancing? This versus everything else that you have going on.
I feel like it's not too bad once you get used to it. Practices occasionally it will be like 3:40, so a bit earlier, or we'll have practices around 9:10. Travel isn't too bad. Unfortunately for our team, we don't have like a bus or anything right now, so any games we kind of have to drive ourselves to. So sometimes the traveling can suck, depending. For me, I gotta drive an hour and a half on a Sunday night.
Yeah. That stinks. Do you guys? What's the furthest place you've been travel-wise?
So we'll do like showcases and stuff. So far, the furthest we've gone, I believe, would be New Jersey back in October. But just within our division alone, which is about 5 teams that will play, and those are the main teams we'll face throughout the season. I think would be in New Hampshire.
All right, so that's not terrible.
So it's not too bad of a drive, but definitely traveling from Connecticut is.
All right, yeah, sorry, thing just broke up on me there. But so not terrible. It does stink not having a bus, not getting that team bonding there. That's always fun to travel with your team, but it can be nice. You can get out of the rink, and get home without having to wait on the bus. So there's pros and cons to that. Um, what's been your high and your low so far this season? It might not just be the picks. It might also be with maybe your other programs you've done in the past this whole year. What's been your high and your low hockey wise?
Can you say that one more time?
Oh yeah. So what's been your high and your low hockey wise this year, this season?
I feel like it's been pretty good overall. Like I said earlier, a lot more adjustments coming from either playing high school in Connecticut or playing just double A wherever. You're going from playing midget hockey where guys either don't take it as serious or just aren't as good, where here you have a lot more, the competition's a lot higher. You have everyone wants to try to play college or possibly pro.
You're speaking about what everyone else wants to do with their future. What about you? What's your goals going forward in the hockey world, or what do you want to do in the future?
Well, one of the things is, especially right now, trying to see where I'm going to play next year, whether it'll be with the Picks or there's a lot of other junior leagues out there. Like for us, we play in the USPHL Elite. You have the North American Tier 3 Hockey League, and so part of it's just trying to set myself up with a team where, it'll be a good team, play a good amount, and possibly after my senior year, for the last 2 years of juniors, play at like a Tier 2 or higher level and be able to play, college, whether it's Division 3 or Division 1.
Yeah, that's a good goal there. Are you getting a good amount of playing time this year? How is that situation going out for you?
Part of it is it doesn't help that from the coach's aspect, they're more likely to play guys that either, played for the Pigs last year, played for a U16 or U18 team somewhere, where for like them, they look at it as I didn't play at a high level. So even if it feels like there's guys that even if I'm just as good as, I'm less likely to play as much. But overall, the playing time has been pretty good.
Well, that's good. I'm glad because you mentioned at the start that you didn't get like any playing time at the high school level, but that's good that you get playing time here, obviously. But like, I mean, you have to. I mean, like, I get it. The coaches want to play their better players, and you just got to work for it. Obviously, I think everyone knows that. All right. Well, let's switch a little here. How has it been? I know you got that outdoor rink going for you. So talk to us about how that's been. Obviously, it must be great to get out there and at any time of the day.
Well, it always takes a little while to set up, especially during the November Thanksgiving time. But certain years it depends how warm it is. Like right now, it's just a pool of water. But for like Christmas, and then for like the 4 days after that, it was nice to be able to skate, whether it's after practice or just go out there, work on shooting, skating.
Yeah, I like my rink. I think it's great. It's a fun thing. Oh, let's talk about NHL. Those of you that don't remember, Tommy's a big Buffalo guy. The Sabres this season. Talk to us a little bit about Buffalo because I know the Bruins they're rocking right now. But what's it up there in Buffalo?
Well, it's definitely been a fun year for Sabres fans. You went so long without having a competitive team pretty much at all, where this year, obviously, the Atlantic Division is always real tough. And you got the Bruins above. There's always every team below them is like one win away from catching up to them. Even last I checked, they were in 4th place. But it's definitely nice to be able to watch guys like Tage Thompson and Middlestat Quinn, guys that are a lot younger in the league that we watched in World Juniors in the years past now playing in the NHL, and you can definitely tell that they're defensively struggling, but it's definitely been a lot of fun this year to be able to watch a much more competitive team on the ice.
Yeah, I mean, Tom's he's insane. That guy. And Buffalo, they're up. Hey, they're being competitive. That's good. You mentioned World Juniors there. You've been keeping up with the World Juniors right now. I've been watching some of what's going on. Team USA, they're doing okay. It looks like they'll make it through. Canada, the favorite, did all right. But have you been keeping up with that? And if you are, any countries surprising you?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you brought up the some guys that used to play in the World Juniors and stuff, and it's neat watching them now in the NHL. A lot, like I said earlier, a lot of the guys are much younger on the Sabres, so it's neat to watch from year to year. You can see how they're getting better and adapting their game. Where if you look at some of the older teams, they're not really adapting their game much.
All right. Last thing here. I want to talk a little bit reverse retro jerseys with you. I don't know if you have them on the top of your head here. Do you got a top 3 teams that you really like, or maybe just a favorite jersey that you really like? If you do throw them out.
You said free favorite jerseys.
Yeah,
One of them is Vancouver's, just because, which I'm actually wearing the logo here of their minor league team. I like a lot of the ones where they're going back to the more historical teams, possibly that, because the throwback they did there was to 62. Before they were in the NHL, obviously the minor league team that was playing there. So I like that one a lot. Another one is the Rangers. I always liked that logo growing up a lot, of the Statue of Liberty. I like that they kind of did it with a lighter shade of blue this time around. The Sabres one, I like the logo a lot. I just think it looks very odd because they went with the white pants and a blue helmet on it. So I thought it was just a weird combination. If anything, if they had a white helmet or definitely like seeing the goat head logo back on the jersey there. Probably my favorite one of all is the Lightning one. Even though it's a lot of fans didn't like it at the time, I think it's kind of neat to see like the white version.
Yeah. You got to see him on the ice, I think. I think you have to see him on the ice before you can judge. I did one online, and then you see him on the ice, and then you're like, okay, well, they look better on the ice than they do in the picture. All right. That was Tommy, guys. Thank you so much for joining us today and talking about your experiences and your thoughts in the NHL. Good luck to you the rest of the way with the picks. Hopefully you guys can turn your season around. Happy New Year, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. And thanks for having me on. It's been too long.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to have you on more consistently. Thanks for watching.